And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War here on a Football Friday, the morning after the New York Yankees clinch their 21st division title. How you doing, sir? Yankees win.
I'm doing all right, dude. You know, obviously big weekend here. Football, week 4, TCA picks. Let's fucking go, dude. Definitely hyped for Super Bowl. For football Sunday this week. And, of course, you know, big Mets series. So a lot to look forward to, dude.
And, you know what was missing from that? Hey, congratulations to your New York Yankees, Sonny. I thought you'd at least give us something there, no?
I mean, you know, we'll see if she has win the World Series. Then maybe I'll give you something.
No, but I'm saying it is interesting because I honestly, and this used to be the sentiment for a little bit, where you know it's like, okay, you don't want to like over celebrate, and then, but after watching, you know, just some of the post game coverage and just seeing these celebrations afterwards, I really have come to agreeance, and I think Jack Curry was mentioning, maybe Michael K too, where it's like you have to appreciate those moments, and I think everybody is like really jacked up. You could just tell by the post-game celebrations, and everybody wants to be a part of something special.
Oh yeah, I mean, I personally never questioned the divisional celebrations or clinching a wild card celebration or even clinching a playoff berth celebration. I mean, it is something to celebrate. It's a long season, a lot of ups and downs, and I mean, look, use the Yankees as an example. You know, they were in the position to clinch the division, you know, a few times and they didn't get to it. Now they finally got that opportunity. So that was also like, again, to even furthermore be like, this thing was kind of hanging over their heads for a couple games. So yeah, definitely go out there and celebrate, dude. Why?
Yeah.
Did you were people like,
no. I'm just saying myself, I was thinking like, oh, well, like, you know, postseason, but then the division, but then I'm like, it was put in perspective, like not making the playoffs last year. And just to think back, to at a certain point of this season, how I mean, really, I would say I really question that we would be talking about this when I was in your pool after the Yankees collapsed in Boston. Luke Weaver, that 2-run homer over the monster. I mean,
my gosh.
I mean, it was the diner.
It was. No, it was literally the diner, and you know, like you said, I mean, it's even more of a bigger reason to celebrate. You know, like it's a long season. A lot of these teams, I mean, you never really know until like, you know, August, September.
Yeah.
When you really get down to the nitty-gritty games.
I mean, such a grind. And, you know, we'll get to all of that, but definitely so pumped for the playoffs. And next step here is to clinch the best record in the American League. And the magic number on that is 2. So basically a Yankee win, a Cleveland loss could be all set tonight.
Kind of crazy that like that's the race for best record is
between the Yankees,
wild.
But the fact that Cleveland would be the number 1 challenger, and then also who would have said going into the year that the AL Central would have 3 playoff teams? I mean, they were talking about on the broadcast last night. That never happens.
That's kind of crazy. Like, it really is, dude. Do you think that's a testament to the Central maybe stepping up, or is it maybe everyone else taking a little step back? I think almost
other than Yankees, Orioles. I mean, the East is usually the powerhouse division. I mean, Tampa, Toronto, Boston, very disappointing.
Not good.
And then you think about the West. I mean, you're defending World Series champs are going to make the playoffs. Everyone thought Seattle would make some noise.
Oh yeah.
So the combination of those things is what you get here. And you know what is kind of interesting. So, if things ended the way they are now, I'm just trying to think about this. So I think it would be Houston versus Detroit in that first wild card.
That's like a big upset spot, I feel, right? I mean,
the
Detroit's been hot.
Tigers, I mean, unbelievable. And then what a
Yeah.
storyline, Hinch, back
Yeah,
in
dude, that's
Houston and
right.
stuff.
Totally forgot about that.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
So a big weekend for baseball for sure. And we're gonna go back to baseball in a little bit. But we have a lot to do before then. Let's start with the comments from the greatest fans in the world.
Wow, dude, the greatest. That's right. Kev Deuce says, let's go. We want the smoke, dude. Let's get this picks, he says. He will call the picks in, dude.
Hey, you think it's a Met fan thing? Like, no, congratulations on the East?
No, I
we're
don't think so.
Here.
I mean, I don't think that it's Josh B isn't congratulating you.
Well, he's a fan. He's supposed to be congratulated, not the other way around.
Yeah, but he's not like, oh, congrats, Barnes. We did it. Like, what about that? Like, we did it.
I mean, you're spitting it, but continue.
I think you're spitting it, dude. Speaking of spitting it, Josh B, morning fam, happy football Friday. What the heck is Ankski? AL East champs is nice, but the work is just starting, he says. So clearly, no congratulations. On to the next for Josh B.
Of course. But it's a nice box to check, that's for sure.
What's the Ankski?
I have no idea. But I'm sure as the show goes on, we'll find out more about that.
And the show will go on. Matthew Gabriel says, let's go. Matthew, Josh B says, Matty G. Kev Deuce says, Matty G. Anthony Terrell says, TCA going down. No mercy, dude. Kev Deuce says, DTV probably picked all the easy games. Wow, dude. Josh B says, and I'm the shit talker.
He's not off the hook now, though, right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, dude. Kev, DTV need to bet on basketball because all they do is pick layups. LMAO.
Says the person that
ridiculous,
had first
dude.
pick for 19 weeks last year.
Ridiculous, dude. Matthew Gabriel says, Josh, Kev do AL East champs. Now we gotta get the best record. No congratulations for Matthew Gabriel either.
Though we talked about it last night. Let's fucking go, dude.
Miguel Rivas, Smash Bros Cave says, hi, bro. What is up, bro? Josh B says, facts. More Yankees talk than all 4 hours of DR already, he says.
And as Doggy would say, that's a good job there. That's a good job because they tend to do that.
And then here we go. My mother says, hi, Aunt. And then she says, congrats, Barnes.
There it is. We're 1 for 3 with the Mets fans.
And then my mother, Yankees fans, are always jacked up.
That's what makes us the best.
And then Jay Bird in the house says, yo, last night was a Vegas call if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that was so funny. Continue.
I mean, come on, though. It is kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It was very crazy, Tony. Continue on.
It's a little salty, dude. I don't know, man. And then says, Anthony, are you going home this weekend? I heard there would be dinner.
It's dinner.
It is. It's Sunday. It's Tony on the island, dude. So
yeah.
That is confirmed.
Wait, so double dinners, because it wasn't you confirmed for another dinner, or was that this dinner?
No, that was October 4th. Remember that was
right.
So it's to be another dinner.
Double dinners,
not the 4th. Maybe not the 4th.
No, the 20th.
The 20th. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 20th. It's in the
or the
calendar.
13th. The 13th.
It's 13th.
It's the gap week.
In the calendar, dude.
Yeah.
Matthew Gabriel, work is just beginning, Josh. No doubt. Kev Du says AL East chumps. He says.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think he's just trying to chirp. I think. And then Matthew Gabriel says, LOL. Matthew Ryan says, AL East champs. Boom, he says. Matthew Gabriel, come on. Kev Du saying what to Jay Bird. Matthew Gabriel, isn't that crazy? J-Man. My mother says this weekend is AC, and well.
So that means no dinner.
I guess not.
Huh? Would you look at that?
And then my Matthew Ryan says Cowboys dominated the Giants. Game was not even that close. I think it kind of was close.
It was close.
Dude, yeah.
But I mean, we'll get into it.
Yeah. And then Lonnie, dude, in the house.
Lonnie.
Good morning, guys. Being there last night to see the Yankees clinch the AL East was a movie, especially seeing how they smacked the Orioles. Unfortunately, the Giants couldn't find any real success versus the Cowboys. I'm getting a phone call from my mother. I'll call my mother after the show. That's right.
I thought that was Matthew Ryan.
I thought it was Matthew Ryan too. Matthew Gabriel says, Yanni.
No, he sent me the picture last night. Awesome that he was there for that moment. And let's fucking go Giants. I mean, what are you gonna do, honestly? But we know what the priority is, Lonnie.
Right. Yeah. Obviously. I would just text my mother. Call you after the show.
And then he says, damn, bro, let's say you were there, Lonnie. Call your mother. It's dinner. Josh B, it was a fact. It was a beatdown, Matthew Ryan. Giants suck. Who cares? That's true. Good segue. Let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping, on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones, oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So last night, Thursday night football, once again, we saw the Dallas Cowboys defeat the New York Giants 20-15. So yet again, the Giants involved in a game full of field goals, 5 of them, including kicking one from the 3-yard line. And, listening to the New York shows this morning, it seems like they were questioning that a bit, and just kind of how Dable, was playing extra conservative, trying to save his job. But I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where when points are tough to come by, you got to take advantage if you have an opportunity. So, when you look at this game overall, I think what stands out to me, I think Dak played really well. But Dallas really has to do a better job of running the football, because I think if they were able to do that, I don't think this would be a close game. And it just, they really blew it I think in the offseason. They don't have any explosion there. I mean, Dowdle is okay. I mean, his numbers were fine, but Zeke is done, and it's just not the threat that it used to be. But nevertheless, I mean, it was a much needed win for Dallas. And if you look at the synopsis of this game, Greg Joseph started off the scoring a 8-play, 51-yard drive for the Giants after Dallas went 3 and out. Tony looking like me, tripping over cords. So that made it 3-0, and Joseph, filling in for the injured kicker Graham Gano. Rico Dowdle, a 15-yard touchdown pass from Dak after a 12-play, 75-yard drive with 2 minutes remaining in the first, so it made it 7-3. So from that point, you're like, okay, is this going to be kind of the scenario we laid out yesterday with Zach, where, Dallas just goes on the run, but the Giants seem to hang around this entire game. You had a Greg Joseph 41-yard field goal. So again, the Giants, picking up some yards on a drive, 55 yards to be exact, but then having this settling for 3. And then Dallas got the big play, a 55-yard touchdown pass from Prescott to Lamb. So that made it 14-6. But a minute remaining in the half, the Giants' big 15-play drive, but again, settling for 3. So 14-9, Dallas unable to do anything with the ball with their remaining possession in the half. So you go to the locker room, 14-9. Joseph, another field goal, another long drive that the Giants couldn't finish, 22 yards, so 14-12. Brandon Aubrey tees one up from 60 after an 8-play, 28-yard drive to make it 17-12. But Joseph answering back again with the field goal, 42 yards out, 17-15 Dallas. And then Brandon Aubrey makes another field goal, this time from 40 yards out, 20-15. That would be the final score. And we all know by now, final minute, Aubrey 51-yarder misses it. So everybody who had Dallas -5.5 gets screwed on the spread, and somebody was chuckling somewhere. But at the end of the day, Dallas Cowboys are 2-2. New York Giants are 1-3. But I find myself, I feel like, we know, I think at this point what the Giants are, and I know, okay, respectable game, Jones, okay. But at the end of the day, it's just, I think, another example of the New York Giants coming up short and kind of showing, despite having talented players like Neighbors, that the Giants just don't have what it takes this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're totally right on that one. I mean, big reason why the Giants were in this game is because, Jones had, I guess, decent success on some drives. I mean, very inefficient. I think he was 22 of like 49 or something like that.
Who's this?
Jones.
No. Actually, he was. I just had this in front of me. He was 29 to 40. That's actually
29 to 40. Oh, well, I mean, compared to Dak, though, what was he? 22 to 27.
No, but I'm saying for Jones, just because he's always pedestrian.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest parts that I saw from Jones that was like, you got to get out of this league, was that there was a few times where he had either Neighbors or Slayton downfield,
maybe Robinson,
and he's just like underthrowing them, like multiple times underthrowing them. There was one where there was like an offsides call, so free play. Slayton goes running downfield, post route, open. Underthrow.
Yeah, hit him. Yeah, has no deep ball.
Like he has no deep ball, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, think of like those two plays could have been 2 scoring plays. Like they could have resulted in touchdowns. And obviously, Daniel Jones had how many throwing touchdowns last night? 0, dude. So it's like, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah.
Like he's not a quarterback that can win you games, like even given the opportunities. Because like we were saying, I mean, Dallas, the lack of run game, the defensive stops. I mean, it literally worked just like you said it yesterday. I mean, there was a 3-and-out for Dallas to start. Neighbors is a big play to start the first drive for the Giants. But they're just like, we're not able to really capitalize on those things. And it's just like, what are we doing, dude? You have to.
Fourth and goal at the 3-yard line. I mean, you have to go for the points there because you knew it was going to be a struggle to score them. You didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, yes, Dable did play conservative, but I mean, towards the end of the game, though, there was a few 4th downs where they went for it, and he ended up converting on those downs. But then again, nothing to show for it after that. I think
one of the last one was like a 4th and 6.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, I mean, 4th and goal from the 3, a little easier, less yards, So definitely stuff you can question. It is kind of interesting, though. I mean, do you think too that it's a lot about Jones here as to why the Giants can't be more competitive, or do you think just the whole roster? No matter, even if you had somebody that was pretty good in there, that they wouldn't really do much with this group.
Like a quarterback, you mean? Like a better quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, let's just say hypothetically, like Kirk Cousins or something. Like, do you think that the results would be that much better, or do you think there's just so many holes on this team that it's like it's not going to make that much of a difference?
I think if Cousins were starting, they probably would have won this game. To be honest, yeah, I do think a better quarterback would mean a lot more. I think for this team. I mean. Again, Neighbors, you can't really doubt him right now. He's doing things that people haven't done in the Giants in a while, 115 yards through the air. It's off of 12 receptions last night. I mean, that's great. Wan'Dale Robinson also looked pretty solid too. And you mentioned Slayton. He's someone who you could rely on. And honestly, like even Singletary out of the backfield too, I thought like Singletary, I kind of like him. He runs hard. So
he just has some room to run. Yeah. I mean, 14 carries for 24 yards. Clearly, blocking wasn't all set up for him. But so at the end of the day, the Giants find themselves 1-3. We'll have to go to Seattle next week, so could get late early. Dallas, evens their record up at 2-2. So kind of, back to square one. And next week they're going to be at the Steelers for Sunday Night Football. So that'll be a tough game. And then they also go Lions, at Niners, at Falcons, home Eagles, home Texans. I mean, that is a gauntlet coming up. So be interesting. I mean, we're really going to find out what type of team they are the next 4 or 5 weeks.
What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I think they're going to find themselves with a few games remaining hovering around 500, just because I think they're fine, but I think that running back situation hurt them.
Yeah, definitely.
And then also, I think they should have brought more of a weapon in at wide receiver outside of Lamb, because I think Lamb is great. But then after that, I don't know if there's enough there. So, great, beat the Giants, but it'll be interesting to see, what they do against Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be a tough matchup, for them with that defense. Could be potentially, a struggle to score and then have to go on the road, primetime night game. I don't think that'll be easy, for sure.
Definitely not, dude. Definitely not.
But it almost really feels like to me, Tony, that the NFC East is kind of up for grabs here, because Philly has a lot of injuries, and we know kind of the uneven performances we've seen over them so far this season, down the stretch last season, and it's like Washington's 2-1, and like Daniels looks great. Like, I don't know, like are the Commanders a dark horse here in the East?
I mean, it seems like it, right? I mean, they do have possibly a franchise quarterback, right?
I mean, I know that guy seems like he's overhyped him, but I'm telling you, Tony, from what I see, this guy looks like he's going to be great, honestly.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I know Cowboys have like a rough road the next few weeks necessarily, but I mean, I feel like the Eagles and Cowboys would also kind of pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I know like the Eagles, I'm in the same boat where it's been definitely kind of doubtful with their level of play. It hurts, a couple turnovers, the locker room woes. Does everyone hate Sirianni? I don't even know, dude.
I mean, you
It
wouldn't think
seems like
he's
it.
that liked, right?
I don't even know. Like, I mean, I know Domac doesn't really like him that much. I don't know how the rest of the Eagles fan base views him. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think about him? Like, is he a good coach? No.
Well, I just think what happened last year happened for a reason. If you're a really good coach, does the locker room get like that? I don't know. I don't know if he really commands the locker room, and that's what you need to do in the National Football League.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think you're right there, but I guess we'll see. I mean, we've seen times where, you know, like players do kind of band together in the room without the coach, but I don't know. Football might be kind of different. I don't know. But still, I mean, Commanders right now, good. Who are they playing this weekend?
The Commanders
are playing the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, yep.
And the Browns, and then the Ravens and Panthers. So the next 4 weeks, I mean, is manageable for them.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. But I mean, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, big week coming up, and you know, that's kind of a good segue. Time to make our picks here. You know, we have that 1-game lead over the TCA, the chirps, and really, I mean, I think the audacity of Kev Dew to mention about layups when it's like I said that we gave them a full season of going.
I mean,
first. You want to talk about
literally,
layups,
dude? Like, what are you talking? First of all, and it's like you can pick your game. Like, you pick your games. Like pick your games.
Yeah,
pick your games.
Yeah, how about pick the right games?
Yeah, dude.
So let's run down what our options are here. Interesting NFC South matchup to start it off on Fox. You got the Falcons hosting the Saints. Atlanta -2.5 there. For me, like, I think that's going to be a really good game, but it's kind of tough to really handicap it. I don't think it's going to be one that's going to be part of our picks, but we'll have to see. So. One that I kind of have at least a half circle around here.
The Bears,
Rams at Bears. I do think, I mean, especially what we saw the Rams coming back against San Francisco last week, and what the Bears have done this year so far, I think really hasn't been great.
I like Rams there.
Yeah, so let's
put a pin in that one.
Put a pin in that one, +3, which is nice as well.
Yeah.
You have
a dog.
Yes, a dog, which we don't get too many of. You got Green Bay hosting the Vikings. Jordan Love, I guess, expected to play, not fully cleared yet. I think that's kind of a tough one because you got the Darnold momentum and then Love, like, oh yeah, exactly. So I think that's too hard to pick. When I do like here, I like Pittsburgh on the road against the Colts. I don't think the Colts are that good, and I've just been so impressed with what the Steelers have done this year. You know, TJ Watt leading that defense and scoring just enough on offense, and Fields not turning the ball over. So could we say half circle there?
Yes.
And then Tony, yes,
absolutely, dude.
All right, so we got
love the
two possible options there. Jets -7.5 at home against Denver. I think it's too high of a spread.
Yep.
I would, if it was a money line situation all day, every day, 7.5, 7 with the hook. It's too high. And then you have the Eagles, Bucks, injuries all over the place. I think that's a stay away spot.
Okay.
And then you have the Bengals at the Panthers. That's interesting. Do we just go with Cincy's last gasp to save their season here? Andy Dalton, a reunion of sorts on the road. I mean, potential half circle.
All right, 3/4 circle.
You kind of like it, you're saying?
Yeah, I do kind of like it.
Jags at Texans. I mean, desperate team going up against the Texans. I mean, Texans should cover that, but I don't love it, so we'll pass on that for now.
Really? Okay.
And then Arizona -3.5 against the Commanders. Kind of tough. You know, does Harrison play? Does he not? That's kind of too close to call for me. And then you got Pats 49ers laying 10.5. I mean, they should, but the injuries, it's tough. Exactly. Browns Raiders, I think another tough one. I mean, how the hell did he decide that?
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs number is too high against the Chargers, but the Chargers are all banged up. Herbert. So again,
is Herbert going to play? Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed seems likely though. And then you have Bills Ravens. Again, I don't know. That's kind of tough for me there.
I kind of like Bills +2.5.
But I think if we don't have to, let them take that game, honestly, because I think that's a tough one, Tony.
Okay, fair enough.
Desperate team playing better.
Desperate team.
And then Titans Dolphins, again, injuries, bad teams. I don't know who's even playing quarterback. Is it Snoop Huntley? I think it is.
Oh my gosh.
For the Dolphins. And then Seahawks at Lions. Detroit -3.5. Again, kind of tough.
Yeah.
I like the earlier games a lot better. So I think let's go back to those for a second here.
I think we can definitely hammer Steelers, right? We both like that.
And Rams.
Steelers and Rams.
Yeah,
okay,
so that's
cool.
okay. So we have Rams +3, and then so two
plus-
road teams. So a little
Okay.
risky there. So not exactly a layup, Kev do.
Nope.
So Rams +3, Steelers -1.5 on the road. And then for this final selection, I would say another 3 road teams. That's kind of crazy to go Bengals.
You want to try Bengals?
-4.5. I mean, I just feel like, are they really going to go 0-4? And it is the Panthers. Like,
I
know
mean,
they
Dalton did look good, like better than we
Yeah.
thought.
but I think Burrow's pissed. Obviously,
How do you feel about Texans?
I mean, yes, but then it's like
You're afraid of the -6?
The Jags do part and potentially a backdoor.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I think we can at least narrow it down to those 2 games, right? Nothing else we really want. I kind of don't mind Chiefs -7, but again, if Herbert ends up playing, it would be kind of different.
It's funny how all these are on the road.
I know, right?
Good home teams.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Which I guess why the lines are so kind of askew. Because
Yeah.
I feel like even like, I mean, Steelers is only -1.5 against the Colts. You would think the Steelers kind of hammer them, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just like does
Just 'cause of the
Richardson have
road?
one of those games, the athleticism and the road. You know, you never know what you're gonna get.
I don't think Richardson will have one of those games.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, Saints Falcons. All right. So what you want to do? Bengals?
Yeah, Bengals 4.5, third pick. Kev do time to call in. We're not dealing with the chirps, Kev, but
All right, Bengals 4.5. I'm not riled, but let's do it, dude.
let's get him on the dial.
Let's get him on the dial. I can call him actually instead.
Yeah.
If he's ready, let's see if he's in the comments before. I don't want to call him when he's in the truck or doing some weird shit. Let's get Kev do on the line, my guy. Searching for Kev do.
Kev do, where are you?
Calling Kev.
Hello?
Hello,
Kev
Kev.
do.
You.
Yo,
Yo, dude. Not much. You're on the line.
How are the layup lines over there?
Yeah, dude. What do you got for some layups from you?
Nah, your Bengals layup is like the biggest one, bro.
I don't know. 3 road teams, 1 dog. I don't know. It's
First
not
of all,
exactly layup
Bengals
city.
layup. They're 0-3.
Yeah, the Bengals are 0-3.
They're 0-3, Kev. Dude, the Bengals have
They are
sucked.
0-3.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
taking 1 dog. How about we're taking 2 dogs? I'm letting you know that from the door.
All right. Well,
The
let's see if
dogs
they're
are
barking,
barking.
dude. What do you
All right,
got?
The first picks, we taking the Texans -6.
Okay, so they
that's
like
a good.
that
That's
one.
a good
Yep.
one. That's a good one.
So a copy pick there.
Well, y'all took,
No. Tony was mentioning it. No, I'm just kidding, Kev.
and then we're gonna take the Vikings +3
Wow.
Okay. Vikings +3. Yep.
That's dangerous.
and the Bills +2.5.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Bills +2.5. Tony, the proverbial 2.5 there.
Brian said, "Let them take it."
Yeah, I mean, so those are some interesting picks. I think this is going to be a fun week, an exciting week for sure.
Well, I think you took like 2 of ours, the ones that we originally was going to do.
Really?
So,
What was
you
your?
know, we always have backups.
Yeah. What one was like number 1 on your list that we took? The Rams or no?
No, it was the Steelers again.
The Steelers. Okay. Yep. Yeah, no, I could see that. And yeah, kind of an interesting week between injuries, road teams, numbers. Yeah, a little different.
Me and Josh, we always, when you guys pick first, we always tend to have a couple extra games.
Yeah,
Of course,
bullets
of
in the
course.
chamber.
Yeah. Yes. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
But I'm sitting down listening, and I'm like, oh, damn, they're going to take this game. Fuck. Let me throw in. And then you mentioned the thing about the dogs. I was like, all right, 2 of them were pluses, so let me take them. They said we took them.
Yeah.
We took the dogs.
Well,
The dogs.
it's so tough too because it's like just common nature, like to just go with favorites. But then you feel like you have to take dogs, but you don't want to talk yourself into doing something that you might not necessarily like. But sometimes, like with the Rams, I think we felt pretty confident about that one.
Oh
yeah, I was looking at that game. I just don't trust it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're dealing with a lot of injuries, but I mean, I just think that the Bears have not really impressed me.
No, not at all.
And I'll take Stafford on the heels of that comeback against San Francisco.
yeah, definitely.
I just the way I look at it is, yeah, the Bears lost last week. this guy, their quarterback is a rookie. He's going to make those rookie mistakes, but he did have a decent game. And I think he can learn from his mistakes as each game goes on. As you can see, he's playing a little better as it goes on.
You're
even
talking
though they
Caleb?
didn't win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb.
I think if he just went a clear finish on the nails, I think he would have a better.
I mean,
I
that
think
is-
if he
I
just
think
takes
so,
the
right,
nail
dude.
polish
Yeah.
remover and remove it, just not have it at all, that would be great.
I mean, if you were the coach, would you be like, hey, man, like, you
See,
stop that?
personally, the way I am, yeah. But the way the league is, you know, if he says that, then it goes to the player association, and it'll be a big thing. You know, they'll start bringing
Win some games, and then you can polish your nails.
Exactly.
Win some games
Yeah,
first,
that's
all right, and then you can polish your nails.
Exactly.
It is kind of crazy
Yeah.
though how I feel like people are so quick to write off these rookie quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, I mean you don't know anything yet.
You
I mean,
really
don't at all.
You know, I honestly want to see Penix play. I actually want to see him play.
Yeah, I mean, I
Interesting.
think it's these few weeks are very big, and if they're staying in contention, though, I think they will hold off till the next season. But first sign of struggle, a losing streak, then I could see that change being made, which is crazy. All the money that Cousins got in the offseason.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
That was funny how they paid him all that money, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're going to take this quarterback."
and not just any
Right.
quarterback, one that's 24 turning 25. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like how much time?
And he
does-
had what 3 ACL surgeries or something like that.
I mean, everybody loves his ball, but then he has that whole lefty quarterback thing going against him as well. So be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys didn't take whoever's playing Miami.
Well, the Titans suck.
suck.
That-
Will
if they were
Levis?
playing
Come
anybody
on,
else,
dude.
I honestly would have taken the Panthers. I think if that was
Literally.
the matchup.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Miami's downhill, and it's
It is
no
tough.
bueno.
Yeah, no, but at least Seahawks Lions on Monday. That'll be good. So I think it's going to be a great weekend, and then you couple that with the baseball over the weekend. You getting a little nervous, Kev, or full confidence with the Mets here?
Actually, honestly, I think these 2 games being postponed was the best thing that ever happened to us, to be
Really?
honest, because I think that if we could go into Milwaukee and bring that broom out and the Braves lose a game, we don't have to play on Monday.
Yeah, but I mean, we would clinch a wild card.
Yeah,
spot.
we wouldn't have to. You know what I mean?
But I wonder with
So-
like the TV money and stuff, that's always like a
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know
2 games too. They might not want to give that up.
I think MLB said they would consider putting those games under review
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
if that was the case.
if that was the case.
So it'll be interesting for sure, but nothing like playoff baseball. The stretch run.
Me
Excited for-
personally, if by Sunday they have the games already locked, the playoff seedings, the only reason they will play Monday is for revenue.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, Monday wouldn't mean anything. And
Yeah.
if they do that, that means that they just care more about the dollar than, you know what I mean, giving those teams an off day right before the playoffs start.
Have you met?
I mean-
have you met Rob Manfred?
No.
Yeah.
No. and I
Who
don't
cares about
want
the
it.
money?
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, Kev. I mean, that's the common sense thing. So, be interesting to see, and maybe those they need those games, maybe they don't. We'll find out. But appreciate you.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead.
I got one question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is up with this guy, Matty Ryan, bro? He's got like the worst takes.
He hates the
I'm
Mets.
sorry.
He
Hates
just
the Mets, hates Zach Wilson.
If you
No,
take
he's-
the Mets and Zach Wilson out of the equation, I think he's a happy guy.
Yeah, but he just sat here and said that the Dallas Cowboys beat the hell out of the Giants. I don't know what game he was watching, but to me, that game was close all night long.
Yeah, it was, but I still think a lot of people just looked at that game and was like, even though the Giants were kind of sticking around, everyone was like, well, there's really no shot that they're going to end up winning this one. Because again, like you're watching Jones, you can't throw downfield. I mean, there wasn't
Yeah.
anything going
And
on.
then you're
So
just
it's like,
constantly going to the kicker.
oh
It's just-
my God.
You don't
dude.
win that way.
And I mean,
So-
it definitely was a little bit of a boring game,
Yeah.
I guess, especially if you're maybe on the outside of these two teams looking in,
like I think
you
the
know?
biggest excitement was the missed field goal at the end.
literally.
But
That
yeah,
doesn't
that's why I
matter.
went to sleep at 10:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have. I definitely should
Yeah, I
have.
should have as well.
Yeah.
But hey, That's what it is. But really appreciate you calling in, Kev. Good luck on the picks.
Always great to talk to you guys.
Likewise,
Hopefully
brother.
we see you next Sunday.
What is next Sunday?
Jets game in out in London. Maybe we can all get together to watch that.
I remember. Yes, that's right, dude.
Oh,
Josh B was talking about
he
that.
was talking about that. Okay.
Maybe we could all get together on the plane and fly over.
Yeah.
No, I ain't got the money to go to London.
No, that would be awesome. So we'll figure it out. But thanks again, Kev.
Mhm.
Good luck. You guys are going down.
Going down, no mercy.
But, we'll talk to you soon.
I hung up what I have to say. No mercy.
That's all right.
I mean, come on, dude. The no mercy call.
But anyway, Tony, it's time to just jump. Let's jump. We got a lot to still get to. It is time for your Week 4 NFL full-on frenzy in the National Football League.
Let's get it started, Brian. It's Sunday, September 29th, baby. Week 4, you said it, Falcons Saints starting off 1 o'clock, FOX in Atlanta here. They're -2.5. Total is 42.5. Cousins have what it takes to take down Zach's team. What do you got?
This is tough, honestly. I mean, you look at the whole body of work. I know the Saints, couldn't do anything on offense last week. But other than that, they look pretty good. The Falcons have been up and down. It's such a tough game here, but I guess I'm going to just say Kirk and the boys riled up, division game at home. I think they just slide in there with the spread. And I think this is kind of a medium scoring game here, just over actually 42.5, kind of a lower number. So I like the Falcons and the over. I would say Young-Hoo Koo with the game-winning 48-yard field goal as time expires. Falcons 24, Saints 21.
The Saints will be marching on to Week 5. Next up, we have in Chicago, Soldier Field, the Bears take on the Rams. The DTV pick. Speaking of a low total here, 40.5. Chicago -3. Stafford, the injuries, the Rams. I know the Bears. Caleb coming along with the nail polish. Obviously, you know your outcome, but how we get there?
17-10 Rams.
Wow.
An absolute dogfight. A game you would expect in the pouring rain in Week 17 at the bowels, Tony, of Soldier Field. But Stafford, a late touchdown pass to give the Rams the victory here. So Rams covering the +3, under on the total.
Let's go. Chugging along here. Still 1 o'clock CBS over there in Lambeau Field. Brian, Green Bay, the Packers, Jordan Love, we don't know, but we do know Darnold and the Vikings are marching in here looking to get their 4th victory of the season. Green Bay, -3, total 43.5. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where, and it would work to our advantage, the TCA going with the Vikings +3 here, but where maybe, just maybe, like it's been great what we've seen out of the whole team, the performance, everything top to bottom with the Vikings, but maybe there's a little overhype there. So let's say Jordan Love comes back. He's healthy. They establish the run against the tough Vikings defense. I think, again, this is close, but for some reason in my head, I have Packers 28, Vikings 24. So the Packers and the over.
Absolutely love that one right there. Let's go Packers, huh? Still 1 o'clock. Let's go down to Indianapolis here as the Colts 1-2 take on the Steelers, who are 3-0, by the way. 2 of those victories by the Steelers, by the way, on the road. Pittsburgh laying 1.5 here. Total also pretty low at 40.5. Vegas definitely notching these games is pretty low scores totally. But again, DTV pick here. Steelers winning. How do we get there, Brian?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of running of the football. You could say, Tony, the water jugs are full. I know
Absolutely.
Lucas Oil this time of year. Maybe stadium's open. Maybe it's not. Either way here, I think in a tight game, I think Najee Harris has his first 100-yard rushing game of the year. Jalen Warren, I think questionable, might not go. So I think they pound the rock. And at the end of the day, dominate possession and win in a dogfight in Indianapolis.
Wow.
17-14 Steelers and the under.
Love that. DTV 2-0 so far. The picks. Let's go, baby. Still 1 o'clock.
ETS Jets. That one was for Michael.
Absolutely. Taking on the Broncos here at MetLife. MetLife getting a lot of action recently with these home games. Jets -7.5 total, even lower now. 39.5. Obviously, the Jets defense, and I guess maybe just lack of offense overall. But I mean, are the Jets picking up where they left off on Thursday, huh?
Yeah, I think they will, and it's not like they need to go into this matchup needing to score 30-plus points here. I think their defense is great. I think Will McDonald, filling in for Jermaine Johnson and kind of filling that void that Hassan Reddick was supposed to fill with those 5 sacks already. I think they'll have another big game. I think Bo Nix will be scrambling for his life. The only thing that keeps the Broncos in this game is their defense, but at the end of the day, I think it's Jets 21, Broncos 10. So that would be the Jets in the under. The Jets are 3-1 for the first time since when?
Who knows? Zach Wilson sighting?
Next game up here.
1 o'clock FOX. The Bucs looking to bounce back here at home against the Eagles. Bucs taking a tough loss last week. Eagles 2-1, salvaging a little bit. We know about their locker room woes. Does Barkley have what it takes to turn this team around, or does Baker come up with a dub with the 3-1 Bucs?
Well, the toughest thing here, Tony, is the injury questions. I mean, we know A.J. Brown is out. Devonta Smith left last game with a concussion, so you assume he's out. So it's like, I know Hurts has done a good job incorporating Dallas Goedert, and I know Saquon Barkley has done a good job running the football. But then on the other side of things, you have Bucky Irving questionable, you have Chris Godwin questionable, and you have Mike Evans questionable. So many question marks here. It's like, where do you go? And I just wanted to see here any update on Evans. Practicing limited capacity, so you'd imagine he gives it a go. So I think that's all I wanted to see, because I know Baker Evans combination, and I think they're embarrassed in what happened last week.
Oh yeah.
So I like the Bucs in this one. I think it'll be a lower scoring game. The Eagles were just in one of those last week against the Saints.
That's right.
But I'm going to say the Bucs here are going to win this game. Let's call it 17-10. Bucs and the under.
Love that there. Let's go Bucs, baby. Let's go now to the third and final DTV pick here. 1 o'clock, FOX as well at the Bank of America Stadium here. The Panthers taking on the Bengals. Bengals 0-3. Panthers, we know. Dalton comes in, gets the dub. Bengals, Burrow fighting for his life. Jamar Chase just wants to get paid, for Christ's sake. Over under highest we've seen so far, 46.5. Cincy -4.5.
I think Cincy is there's shock waves running through their system. How did we get here? What are we doing? I think they take it out on the Carolina Panthers. I think this is an absolute beatdown. We see the team that we expected to see that lost to the Patriots on opening day here. But I think the Bengals, the beatdown in Carolina, 42-14. Bryce Young relieving Andy Dalton midway through the third quarter. It's the Bengals, and it's the over.
Let's freaking go. Speaking of the picks now, looking at one of the TCA picks, CBS 1 o'clock, still our final 1 o'clock time slot here. The Texans taking on the Jags, another team earning for a victory. Trevor Lawrence, a shot through his system, maybe, Brian?
Yes, Tony, yes. And listen, I think the Texans will be fine. But kind of one of those things, the surprise first season, what does the follow-up look like? Sophomore stuff and trials and tribulations, all of that. I think that's what happens here. And the Texans get surprised, upset at home. Jags' first win of the year. Trevor Lawrence throws for 350, 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Jacksonville, 31-28 over the Texans. And the over.
The Jew is getting tight right now. Let's go first. Midday slot, baby. This is where it gets spicy. 4:05 FOX. The Cards, the Commanders, a team dominating the East in their division. Daniels, we know, but Arizona, wait a minute. -3.5. Total is 50.5. What do you got?
Yeah, I think this one is interesting. You got Harrison Jr. returning to practice. Seems like he would go. So, like, what do you do here? Daniels has looked great as well. So kind of a flip of the coin game, but I guess I'll go with the home team here. I think with Harrison in the lineup, that just really, puts an absolute boost to Kyler Murray. I think this is going to go under. I think that total's a little high, but I think the Cards in a nail biter. The grizzled vet himself, Prater from 56 for the win, Tony. 27. Actually, no, not 27. 24-21.
Oh, yeah, dude. Love that. Love that. Let's go still midday here, 4:05. We're going to Santa Clara now. The Niners, the Pats. It's Purdy. It's the injuries. The Pats, surprisingly good week one, but wait, now they lost 2 in a row. Doesn't really matter now. San Francisco, minus 10.5, the biggest spread we're going to see. Total is 40.5. Niners have to take it done.
Niners get it done, but don't cover. I think the injuries take a toll. Pats trying to kind of get back to where they were to open the season here. So I think a lower scoring game. San Francisco, though, prevailing. Let's say 21-17.
Let's freaking go. Love that. Pats going down. Next game now. Kev Dude's Raiders at home hosting the Browns, dude, in Vegas, 425. Las Vegas, the measly minus 1.5. Total, lowly, 37.5. Minshew and the boys, you know about Watson, trash, Browns, can't scramble, doesn't throw, holding the ball too much. Minshew does have what it takes to get it going.
Raiders, I think this is going to be an ugly game.
Oh, yeah.
But I think, I don't know, maybe the team comes together, getting called out by the head coach. I don't like, the whole thing with Watson. It just seems like he's not coming back to the player that they signed up to acquire here. So I'm going to say Daniel Carlson, 47 yards out for the win. A game almost unwatchable, Tony. The penalties, the 3 and outs. But the Raiders, 13-10 over the Browns.
All right, kept you some salvation there. Let's go final 425 game here. Chargers staying in California here. They're going to be playing the Chiefs, who are obviously 3-0. Chargers, we know the injuries. Herbert is going to play. Should have played last week. Harbaugh pushed them. Who knows? Kansas City -7, over on 39.5. The Chiefs continue to find ways to win here.
Find ways to win, but again, tight for whatever reason. As a favorite, having to cover a bigger number, bigger than 3, seems like they tend to struggle in those areas. And I think the whole thing is Chargers with the injuries. So I'm assuming Herbert's good to go here. But I think higher scoring than expected. So I like the over. But give me the Chargers with the points. Chiefs to win 28-24. 4 touchdown passes for Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
3 to Rashee Rice.
Absolutely love that. It's a primetime slot now, so let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. 8:20, baby. NBC. It's the Ravens and the Bills. Another TCA pick, right? You have Bills plus the 2.5 here. Baltimore obviously laying the 2.5. Total is 46.5. Bills also undefeated team here. Josh Allen has been surprisingly consistent. What do you see here, guys? Good matchup.
Yeah, this is where, listen, I have my reservations about Lamar throwing the ball, all of that, but I think M&T Bank Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland, is a different animal for opposing quarterbacks. A night game.
Absolutely,
Josh Allen, who we haven't seen the reckless Josh Allen that we've seen the past couple of years yet this season. I think it shows up in this game, and I think the Ravens, in yet another low-scoring, defensive type of game, edge this one out, get back to 2-2, kind of a reset on the season. I'm going to say Baltimore wins this game by the final score of 21-18. So it is the Ravens and it is the under. And just like that, that is your Week 4 NFL frenzy.
Wow, dude. What a frenzy it was,
It feels like a boomer with the fastest 3 minutes, honestly.
Yeah.
The music.
The music, dude. Let's freaking go, dude.
If you had to say, other than the obvious, of course, we want to see the Jets play every week. Favorite game of the week?
Favorite game of the week. Hold on, stand by. A little tapping at the Bluetooth.
Little tap.
Little tap, tap, taparoo. Favorite game of the week. I mean, honestly, I do think Bills Ravens will be entertaining. I'm gonna say Bucks Eagles. Bucks Eagles, dude.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bucks Eagles.
I'm gonna say Seahawks Lions.
Okay.
I think Geno's done some good stuff. I know 3 touchdowns, 3 picks, but getting the ball to his weapons. Seahawks are undefeated. Lions, I think are a tough opponent there, on the road for them. So what does this game look like? Do the Lions pound the ball down their throat? Are they able to do that? Are they able to push them around? So I think, there's a lot of storylines here. We'll have to see what happens, but I think it's going to be a great week, Tony, in the National Football League.
No doubt about that, dude. The matchups, the storyline, it's all there, dude.
All there.
Tremendous.
Fantasy.
Stroud killing Matthew, he says.
Yes. So, he may kill him again just for the sake of the TCA picks. We'll have to see.
Hopefully, dude.
But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeouts.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So we mentioned it in the open for the 21st time. The New York Yankees are AL East division champs, blowing out the Orioles last night 10-1. And who else but Judge, but Cole, but Stanton, the stars of the show in this one. And I knew going into this game, obviously sometimes sure the offense takes a little to get going. What are you going to get there? Kind of a wild card. But if I had to guarantee one thing in this game, I knew that Garrett Cole was going to be so fired up and really taking it, upon himself to deliver the Yankees this win and the AL East crown. And he did exactly that. I mean, an almost flawless performance, Tony, going toe for toe with Corbin Burns here. But he goes 6 2/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 101 pitches. So finishing out an abbreviated regular season with a 3.41 ERA. And I think given his struggles when he first came back, I think he rounded into form here, finishing out at 8-5. It was interesting with Burns, and I think part of this was, with the wild card series on the horizon, Orioles only allow him to throw 69 pitches, go 5 innings, but he did a really good job against the Yankees here. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. So finishing his first and possibly only year as a Baltimore Oriole, 15-9 with a 2.92 ERA. But that was a pleasant surprise for the Yankees to pull him that early and get to that bullpen. And the Yankees really did damage there. And we'll do our scoring synopsis. Started out with Giancarlo Stanton. So that was a refreshing sign to see his 27th home run of the year to left center. So 377 feet. So after a 4 strikeout game and just some bad at bats, nice to see him get going. So that made it 1-0 Yankees. And then Austin Wells, bases loaded in the 6th inning, a walk to make it 2-0, setting the stage for who else but Giancarlo Stanton. Once again, a double in between the left or the center and right field gap, scoring Soto, Wells, and Judge. So really blowing this one open for the Yankees to make it 5-0. And they weren't done as Rizzo with a 2-run single as well to make it 7-0. And then Judge, a 2-run homer in the 7th, his 58th home run. The numbers are just staggering for Judge. A 325 average, a 461 OBP, a 708 slugging, the 58 home runs, and now 144 runs batted in. Absolutely unbelievable. Alex Verdugo came to this game as a defensive replacement, a homer to right, that to make it 10-0. And of course, he did a home run, with the game out of reach. That was his 13th home run of the year. And then the Orioles scratched one across in the 9th on a sac fly for their only run of this game. But at the end of the day, Yankees 93-66, winning this game against Baltimore, clinching the division. And it was interesting going to this game. I really saw exactly what I wanted to see after the Yankees, after a tough 2 losses by 2 runs each, 5-3, 9-7, the first 2 games of this series. I said, oh, you're going to have to face Yennier Cano. You've had success against him before. And for whatever reason, that continues to be a problem for him. He only gets 1 out and gives up 3 runs. They also did work against Perez. He only got 1 out and gave up 2 runs. And then Baker gives up 3 runs over an inning and a third. So really going to work against that Oriole bullpen. And you just love to see 10 runs, 8 hits. And the fact, you didn't have that many opportunities as runners in scoring position, but the ones you did, you went 2 for 3. So, that's what you need to do. And I think just all in all, a great game. You love to see that as Cole's kind of tune up, for the, division series to have that type of performance. He's ready to go. And, when you're up by, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs, your bullpen, there's really no pressure on them. So they get the job done. I mean, a rare run against Tim Hill. And it was finally nice to see Clay Holmes pitch in a meaningless game, because they always seem to bring him in these tight games, and he got 2 outs, including a strikeout. So at the end of the day, another check in the box for the New York Yankees. And as I mentioned, they have, one more thing to do here left in the regular season, and that is clinch home field so that, in the American League, would run through Yankee Stadium if they're able to make it to the American League Championship Series. And, they have a 3-game set against Pittsburgh now. Cleveland is hosting Houston. Houston locked into that 3 spot, so it'll be interesting to see how many of their guys, play. But at the end of the day, a great night for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we talked about it earlier on, getting that kind of monkey off their back, Judge 58 home runs. I mean, he's having a stellar year. Cole, I think, having a good start before the playoffs. I mean, that's exactly what you wanted from him. It's like you said, shortened year for him, some rocky starts. I think, maybe not for you, but I think some people, there were some questions about what he would look like, especially in bigger games. I mean,
who had the questions? I don't know if you remember. Because remember, he got scratched because he had the stomach bug.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Grassa himself.
Oh, that's right.
He said,
that's right,
we're
dude.
not going to get that version of Cole this year. I mean, I owe Daniel a call. I really do.
I think you do. He was on last night, ESPN Radio.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but well, regardless, yeah, I mean, tremendous win. I mean, you would, like Lonnie said it too, absolute movie setting when like a game of this importance, and you're putting 10 up on the Orioles. I mean, it's great, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, and it must have been amazing to be there last night, like he says. What's this nonsense from Domac here?
He says, I can't call in, Brian. But I want to apologize for the bullshit that happened on Wednesday, the Yankee game. I take full blame for that jinx, and I had to endure watching it live.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate him owning up to it. And at the end of the day, we're both happy here. We get the crown, and next is that #1 seed. So let's just go full speed ahead, and that's what the Yankees will do tonight. 7:05 from the stadium. Yankees Pirates. Carlos Rodon versus Jared Jones. So. Rodon, I think, has had a really good year here, and especially with the injury to Nestor, maybe coming back in the LCS, but I would say that pretty much cemented Rodon, as that #2 starter for the playoffs. Has it been a big surprise for you, his effectiveness this year after last year ERA 5 or 6, whatever it was, but to be 16-9, 3.98 ERA, and 190 strikeouts and 169 2/3 innings.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, pitching a full season, I think probably was maybe the biggest surprise. Almost expecting at some point some type of IL stint or IR stint, whatever. And you know what? I don't think missed 1 start this year, right?
I don't believe so.
So that's great, dude. I mean, having a healthy Rodon and on top of that, putting up some very formidable numbers here. Yeah, I would definitely say I'm pretty surprised about him.
Yeah. So he's locked in as the 2. You would think Heel as the 3, Schmidt as the 4, and obviously division series, you shouldn't need more than 3 starters. So it'll be interesting to see how they line that up. But this is going to be his 32nd start of the season.
Nice.
So we'll go for his 17th win, and I mean, if he were to have a big game, could be 200 strikeouts, but obviously, I mean, that would take a heroian performance here.
A Ruthian, dude.
And then, just kind of keeping tabs on what the Guardians are doing here. They got Joey Cantanillo starting up against Ronel Blanco. So the Astros with the advantage in this pitching matchup. So this could be the night where they clinch the number 1 seed. So hopefully, things will go their way. And I just wanted to see too, because I know, we have our all throughout baseball, right? AL and NL. All the wild card games are Tuesday through Thursday, right? That's just set in stone. So I would imagine that being the case, that Saturday would be the first game of the division series.
You would think so, right? Let's see if we got October. I would imagine, off day Friday. Yeah, game 1 division Saturday.
Okay, but we don't have times yet. But it will be Saturday, October 5th.
Correct.
Yeah, that's nice though. Game 1 on a Saturday.
That's fucking sick, dude.
You don't usually get that.
Next Saturday, October 5th. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So pumped for that. Just really feeling after 2 losses in a row like that. And I saw something too. If they get one more game where they both hit home runs, Judge and Stanton, it would like break a team record. I think that was between like Ruth and Garrick or something. I think it's been 14 games that they both have homered this year.
Wow. Okay. So if they do it one more time, that'd be 15.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
So that's pretty impressive. And it seems like too, you could tell Judge has Stanton's back. He always, when he comes up big, he always mentions it. And he said how it seems like every year, this time of the year, Stanton seems to come up big. Leading into the playoffs. So you love to see that. And you just want to keep going here for these final 3 games. And one other thing I wanted to mention here was how about that sold out crowd yesterday, last game at the Coliseum, A's grinding it out, Mason Miller getting the final out.
Yeah, that was dope.
What did you make of that?
Definitely a cool moment. I mean, the Coliseum is obviously a historical stadium. I don't know if you saw it too. There was the groundskeeper was like digging up like the infield sand and
people
giving
were
it to
taking
people.
seats.
People were taking stuff, which is cool, dude.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, obviously historical stadium. A's leaving. It is sad. But at the same time, like, why didn't you guys just go to these games all the time?
Yeah. Well, I think it's just because they didn't have. But even when they did have the team, I think attendance was like kind of middle of the pack.
Yeah,
I would say.
So I mean, I feel like it is bittersweet. It's nice to see that they did send it off with the dub, though. That was nice. Like you said, Miller, it's good.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a weird feel, Sacramento for baseball, minor league stadium, how it's the Giants minor league team, and they're still gonna play there. I don't know. It's just a weird
scenario.
But I think once it's in Vegas, it'll be interesting. But everyone was saying like it's not right that they allow the owner, where he's gonna have part of the public pay for that stadium, and then he'll probably hire a GM and try to continue like the money ball type of thing, where he's not spending money and he's probably making a lot of money with that brand new stadium. But that's a couple years away here. Before we get into our baseball frenzy, Tony, big 3-game set here in Milwaukee for the Mets, looking to solidify their spot here in the NL wildcard series.
So there's a lot of this is where baseball can get kind of crazy in terms of nitty gritty, dude, in terms of getting like some mathematical equations out there in your notebook. But from what I can understand, when comparing to the Diamondbacks and the Braves, who obviously you're in the running with for the wild card, if you win one more game than the Diamondbacks this weekend, you clinch the division. And if you win 2 more than the Braves, the wild card, excuse me, the wild card spot. Oh, it's divisional talk. And then if you win 2 more than the Braves, then that doubleheader doesn't really matter.
So basically, if you swept and they only won 1 game or something.
Yes. Yeah. No, literally. Yeah. And then, so, I mean, again, there's hope that doubleheader doesn't really have to play, but of course you just have to get the job done. Like you have to let's look for a sweep here. Brewers are playing for nothing. Okay. They clinched, they're in, they're seeding. It's all up there for them. They're not playing for anything, but again, it's all in the Mets' hands here. So it definitely is, it's that biggest series of the year, dude, right now. Like you can decide your year right now, which would be dope. Because then again, imagine you have that Monday off. They don't play those games. Like imagine that. Because that would be great. But like I said, you got Minaya on the mound here, so you feel really good about him. Talking about having a stellar year and staying healthy. 12-5, 3.29 ERA. We know how dominant he's been even as of late. So there's you do feel pretty good, and I hate to say that all Brewers aren't playing for anything because they're a professional ball club. They go out there to try and win games. It doesn't really matter. So I hate to use that as like an excuse, like, oh, we can definitely win this one, because obviously talk about a formidable opponent, talk about like having a good year without Christian Yelich, by the way, too. 91 wins on the year. I mean, it's absolutely stellar. So, you feel good about it though. But again, you're taking this one game at a time. Lindor will be back in the lineup. You have your power bat right there. We mentioned where Acuna could be. We'll see when the lineup comes out. But I mean, you like your chances here against Milwaukee.
And no, like, just thought in the back of your minds where Minaya has just been on this run where that this could be a slip-up spot.
No, absolutely not, dude. I mean, you could have said that for any one of his last starts. I mean,
how many in a row? I mean, to me, it feels like, I don't know, like
feels like
10
years,
starts,
dude.
like maybe 9 of them have been good. Like, just kind of taking a guess here. I mean, I guess that start against Cincinnati wasn't great, Tony.
But still, I mean, giving you length, 6 2/3, 4 earned runs is fine. Still, come up with a win for the Mets as well. But like against Philly, 7 innings, 3 earned runs, very respectable. Washington dominant, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Toronto dominant, 6 2/3, 1 earned run. The Cincy spot tough. Chicago, dominant, 7 innings, no earned runs. I mean, this is like, you can argue his past 5 starts, right? Certainly. And then Arizona was 6 2/3, 3 earned runs. Baltimore,
okay, so yeah.
I mean, those are all quality starts right there. Obviously, got tough against the Seattle series. So, what was that? His last, I could say, 7 or 8 starts were very, very good.
Yeah.
So let's fucking go, dude. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get tattooed by the Brewers tonight. There's no way.
Any threat of rain there in Milwaukee?
No.
Just joke, obviously, retractable roof. And by the way, something that I messed up, was it yesterday we were talking about the whole like start the season earlier? And Seattle did. I think I said Seattle you couldn't, but you can, because I forgot they have a retractable roof. So I think that was like 15 teams that all are playing.
Oh my god, that's right, dude.
In either decent weather or inside. But yet, even like when we start on a normal date, though, it seems like for whatever reason they don't do that. And I just feel like if every team plays each other, why wouldn't you be able to do that? Like, it's like, and it's interesting because I don't know about you, like, I do like starting at home, but I just think because it's so cold, and obviously we got a good feel of that, going to both home openers last year, where you probably are better off with, like, if you're a New York team or a Northeast team, 2 series on the road to start the season.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure. I mean, did the Yankees start their season on the road, right?
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, and then obviously the Mets started in Milwaukee. So
yeah, Yankees were in Houston.
So yeah, I like that, dude.
But for whatever reason, they don't do that.
Yeah, very weird. I don't know. Manfred, money thing, maybe. I don't know. New York, bigger markets, more people come, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would imagine Houston. I mean, that place is gonna be packed out, right? Like,
yeah. I don't know. I just think a closer look should be done with that because, like, like I said, it's like I almost think it's like barely tolerable. Like end of March, New York. I mean, I guess during the day, it's better. But I mean, what is it, 55? Like,
yeah, especially up in the rafters over there, Yankee Stadium, or even at Citi Field. You're just like, oh my god.
Well, I was referring to Citi Field just because that was actually on opening day.
Yeah, we were. It was chilly, dude. I remember being there. I was like, this is a little chilly,
remember?
dude. Yes, I do remember being there, dude. It was a little chilly, dude.
Pelham, dude?
The Pelham, dude.
Oh man. But yeah, no, this is great. Stretch run here. And one thing too, I just want to mention before we do our picks. I still can't believe how Minnesota has collapsed. I mean, they're not eliminated yet, but I think they would have to win all their games, and either Kansas City or Detroit would have to lose all of theirs.
Wow.
They had such a stranglehold on this wild card all season long.
Yeah, and going 3-7 in your last 10 games at this point in the season, that'll do it. And then on top of that, the Tigers, doing the opposite of that.
So
9-1 in the last 10.
Rocco probably kaput or
Baldelli?
Yeah,
probably, dude. I mean, that's not a good collapse.
And unfortunately, Hinch manager of the year.
I guess
just with that group, 85 wins, and you still have 3 games left.
I mean, and they're all so young, dude. Like, it's crazy how you kind of riled all these kids together. Like, it's clearly a Hinch is doing something good, I guess.
Yeah.
Why do you think cheating scandal?
I don't know.
There's no way.
No, probably not. But I do, like, I hope that everything holds chalk and we get that Houston and Tigers series at Minute Maid. I think
That would be sick.
with the Hinch part would be ridiculous. And then I like the Orioles-Royals winner playing the Yankees. So let's fucking go, Tony.
Absolutely, dude. Let's fucking go.
And speaking of that, let's do our full-on abbreviated baseball frenzy. And I'm imagining we're starting at American Century Field. Is that what it's called in Milwaukee there?
American Family Field.
There we go.
Yes, dude. Yes, we are. For the first time in a couple of days, Brian, I get to pick the Mets to win, dude. Finally, it feels right. We know the deal, the storylines here. Don't need to go over that again. But the Mets minus 115 on the money line. Opened at minus 120, by the way. Over under 7.5, which is okay, dude. Montas has been solid for the Brewers, but 4.85 ERA as of recently. Not great, I guess. But still has got a good year under his belt, I suppose. You know, the offense coming from Adames, Contreras, whatever, dude. Milwaukee, by the way, swept us to start the year, and that was the last time we saw them. So think about that. But obviously, totally different Mets organization and team here. Alonso, obviously, I'm sure will play a factor here with his 34 home runs for the year. Lindor coming back. Big storyline there. He's well rested, dude. And Acuna, Manaea, I know you're worried about it, but I'm giving him a great quality start. 7 1/3. 2 earned runs, and the Mets bat to be out. I think this game one here is going to be an absolute landslide victory early and often. Montas, maybe 5 1/3. You know, the strikeouts are there, maybe 6 or 7 Ks, whatever. But he does get popped. Maybe first inning solo shot, Nimmo, but then that fourth inning, big trouble, dude. Mets end up winning this game. I'm going to say 8-3, Mets in the over, baby.
I think at Yankee Stadium, very similar feel, very similar game to last night. Maybe, though, only difference being here where the pitching duel is only one-sided. I think Rodon just as jacked up as Garrett Cole was last night, and I think he will just slightly exceed him with 7 scoreless innings, striking out that 10 to get him to 200 strikeouts, getting his 17th victory of the season. And I think the Yankee offense early, often, Judge and Stanton break that record. So both homering again, Judge homering twice to get to an even 60 home runs, 2 60 home run seasons for Judge. Making history every day. And I think the Yankees in the laugher, virtue of the Cleveland loss as well, clinched that number 1 seed in the American League, winning this game by the score of 11-3, Yankees and the over.
Absolutely love that pick. All right, let's go now. I'm going to go here to the truest park of Atlanta, Georgia, as the Braves taking on the Royals here. Royals obviously had a lot to be playing for, just like the Braves. And Brady Singer gets the start for the Royals here. Game 1 of this series. Singer, okay. Max Fried, better. But you know what? As of recently, Max Fried's been getting popped. I have for fantasy. He's been blowing it for me. So I think the Royals come out here and absolutely tattoo Max Fried. I think Max Fried gets run out of his own home park. 3 1/3. 5 earned runs. Braves go to the bullpen, ruin their bullpen for the rest of the series. Royals, maybe Braves late game push. We know their talent offensively. At the end of the day, Royals get the job done. They win this game. I'll say 6-4, Brian.
All right. So I've been looking for, obviously the Yankee game's always significant, but the other picks last couple of days have been trying to make significant ones. I think the White Sox are so jacked up, coming off that sweep of the Angels, do not want to have that solo record, most losses MLB history. They throw out their ace, Garrett Crochet. I know he's been limited recently in pitch count, but I think this game is important, and I think they let him throw 100 pitches. He strikes out 15 Tigers over 7 innings, and they win 1-0 to stave off that loss record once again. Give me the Chicago White Sox and the under.
Let's freaking go, dude. Third game, best game, last game here. Betting with the heart today, Brian. Let's go to Arizona. Why not? Chase Field, the D-backs taking on the Padres. You know their deal. But I know that Darvish is one to come out here and be dominant. Complete game shutout for Darvish. I don't give a shit. Mitch Kelly, he's
Mitch
good.
Kelly's
Merrill Kelly, excuse me, dude. He's good.
not great.
Not great, but I think at the end of the day, Darvish's performance here gets the job done. Diamondbacks lose. Padres win 2-0. Mets looking good.
Games of significance. Those Cleveland Guardians hosting the Stros. The one time Yankee fans rooting for Houston. Houston winning this game. Alex Bregman, a fourth inning granny. 5-2. Astros under Yankees, number one seed in the American League. Just like that, that is your baseball frenzy. Everybody stumbles over a word or two, Tony.
It happens,
it's
dude.
all right.
Exactly.
Speaking of a stumble, just wanted to mention, what were your thoughts on the international team going down 5-0 yesterday at the President's Cup?
I mean, come on. Expected?
Wind out of sails, or I mean, what do you think?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, they're professional golfers. They'll be looking to bounce back, I'm sure. But I mean, it's just not going to be in the cards, though. I think their morale will be there, but like I said, the level of play, it's not going to be in the cards.
But does it make you not even like interested after? No.
I'm still going to watch. If I have an opportunity to watch, I'm watching.
But do you think comeback day here for the the internationals?
No. USA doubles down. It's getting ugly, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I guess there is a problem with the captain, but not the captain that we thought, right?
That is correct, dude.
Jim Furyk, a tight ship, former major champ.
Mm-hmm. And what I thought the Canadiens, giving them a little bit of a, somewhat of a good look over there in Montreal. The natives helping out the rest of the national players. No, dude. It's a shame. It's a shame.
A crying shame. So just to give you an idea, matchup wise, not everybody gets to golf every day, especially with one session. So another 5-session day today. Cantlay Schauffele matched up against Matsuyama and Sanjay M. These are all Friday foursomes. And then you also have Sahith Theegala, Colin Morikawa against Adam Scott and Taylor Pendrith, Max Homa, Brian Harmon, Jason Day, and Christian Bezenhout. And I think that's something we're talking about, circles, half circles. I could see the internationals winning that one day, trying to kind of right his wrongs in these President's Cups. And then the Canadian matchup, I think that was an effort by Captain Mike Weir to rally the troops. Connors and Hughes here up against Clark and Finau. So potentially another upset there. I mean, I think obviously the U.S. with the better golfers. You never know what you're going to get from Wyndham. Tony, pretty solid, though. And then Scheffler, Heenley, I think, all day over Siwoo and Byung Hun on. Maybe U.S. at worst 3-2 today. I mean, what do you think?
At worst, yeah. At worst, dude. I don't know. I think you have a little more confidence in Jason Day than you do, or you have more confidence than I do. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Not sleep last night?
No.
No, never.
But I don't know. Jason Day the whole year, I can't. I don't think he's going to be doing anything, to be honest, dude.
Yeah. So, we'll have to see what happens. And obviously Monday, do a recap on that.
That'll be fun.
That will be fun. Speaking of fun, prime time again tonight, or what do we got?
No binge buddies.
No
tonight,
binge
actually.
buddies.
Yeah, dude. A little break on the Friday night.
Breaking the action. Okay.
Breaking the action right now because we have Money Over Power Plumbers 2 releasing October 4th. We're canvassing door to door, the flyers, the posters tonight. Editing, getting ready for the release.
Wow.
Big deal, dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
so that's exciting stuff. So is that a week away or no?
October 4th, right? So what's
today's the 27th, right?
It's a Friday. Yeah, I guess it's like Friday. It's like Friday.
Wow,
yeah.
1 week.
Just like that.
That is exciting stuff.
Talk about putting the circle around your calendar, dude.
There you go. And then what else is on the agenda this weekend? I know you're supposed to go home for dinner, but then you were booted for AC. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I gotta talk to my mother. I guess we'll see. But if not, I mean, it's obviously football Sunday. It's just like some work, maybe some R&R.
Yeah, catch up on those Z's.
Exactly, dude.
And then did we miss anything of significance, I guess, comment-wise? I mean, I guess Yanni and Matthew, right?
I guess Lonnie over here trying to talk shit about why, if it's a different organization, the Mets, are you scared to play Atlanta? I mean, I never said that, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, you're not the organization. I think he's saying that he thinks the Mets are scared to play Atlanta.
Why? Why would you be scared to play it? Like,
I
who
guess
said
just
that?
because of
No
2
one said
years
that,
ago.
though.
And
I mean-
then about not playing those games.
I mean,
But
obviously,
if you already
like,
clinched, who cares?
History is there,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say the Mets are going to be scared to play them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking because of the situation. It means a lot. They're meaningful games. No matter who you play, you'd be like a little bit butterflies in the stomach for sure. What do you got?
No, I was gonna say, like, for you, I think right now you appear anyway, like in a good spot. Like, they're gonna get this done this weekend. Now, just say hypothetically, I know again you're not expecting this to happen, but Mania hammered, Braves win. Is it, sound the alarm? If that does happen tonight, are you in complete panic mode going into tomorrow?
Complete panic mode? No. But you got to win the next 2 games.
It's like a security
you gotta
alert.
fucking, yeah, exactly, dude. A security alert, dude. Yes. Bullets in the chamber. Okay, dude.
Kevin chuckling
Yeah.
a little too hard on that one. Most Mets fans are.
I mean,
anyway.
listen, obviously, yeah, again, people have memories, especially as fans, you're going to be thinking, even though that some guys on the team aren't even around anymore, you're going to be thinking about that. Because obviously it's in the back of your head. It happens often, but I wouldn't say you're scared. No one's scared, Lonnie. Just you of the name on the back of the jersey.
Matthew saying, Dumback, I thought you were a Met fan because you wear that hat.
That's
come
funny.
on. You can't be doing that.
dude.
So that is a great one for Matthew.
I mean, it is kind of crazy still, dude.
Yeah, that whole scenario, unbelievable. So last one here. Lonnie wants to ask that you don't have those same memories, Tony.
I do have those same memories, but I also have, the memories of this year and how well they've been doing, and I also have faith in the Mets. So, I mean, I am totally cool with them playing the Braves, whatever. When it comes down to, they're going to win. They're going to be in the wild card. It's no problem.
I just feel like, though, one thing I would say, because like I said, you appear very confident, but I think if it came down to Monday, let's just say hypothetically, everyone's all square going into Monday, you're a nervous wreck. There's no way that you wouldn't be.
Like I said, though, against any team, it would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I mean,
What are you gonna do?
You gotta win these fucking games, dude.
You know what you gotta do?
That's what you know what you gotta do.
Hair of the dog?
Hair of the dog, dude. I haven't been there since. Passed by it last night. Didn't go in. But I mean, maybe one day I will. The food there was phenomenal when we were there. So
yeah, I didn't go that time too.
That's right.
So I never had the experience of the hair of the dog.
Hamburger on the pretzel bun, Brian.
Pretzel buns are big.
My God, dude. So good.
But here we are. Wow. What a week of shows once again.
I can't believe
all the interaction, all the comments, the likes, the subscriptions, the wins, Tony. So you love to see that here. But we really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees! Mets. And we will see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.